Is it hot in here or is it just me? I'm so high in here from smoking on this weed.
Hey y'all, welcome back to The Death of Black Excellence, and we are going to continue where we left off with part 2. And yes, this is a series, so there probably will be a part 3 and part 4 because we just cracked the nut. We just scratched the surface. We're taking a deep dive because this is not just about Diddy and the entertainment industry. It certainly is a reflection of patriarchy, systems of oppression, femphobia, homophobia, sexual perversion, and how that is very normalized in society, from frat boy culture to men feeling entitled to women's bodies. But before I get too ahead of myself, did you like, did you subscribe, did you comment? Because you should. It would greatly be appreciated. But let's just jump right into the video. Hello. Did you see part 1 though? Because this is a continual train of thought. So go see part 1 if you have not. Then come circle back around, spin back around for part 2. And hold your horses for part 3 and part 4. Now for real, let's jump right into the video.
It looks like Beyonce is not the innocent girl that we thought she was, because she just got exposed for allegedly ordering Jay-Z to unalive his infamous pregnant mistress Kathy White. All this comes after Jaguar Wright's recent interview when she went in on Beyonce and spilled the tea about what Beyonce and Jay did to Kathy. According to Jaguar, not only did Beyonce make Jay take Kathy out, but she allegedly took out the baby Kathy was carrying out of her before taking her out, and that baby is none other than Blue Ivy. Yeah, y'all heard that right. Apparently, Beyonce faked her pregnancy while Kathy was carrying Blue, and as soon as it was time for Kathy to push that baby out, Jay unalived Kathy and handed the baby over to Beyonce. Child, this some sort of demonic mess. Jaguar is not letting up on Beyonce, and she even came through with receipts to prove what she was saying, because she knew folks would call her crazy before even hearing what she had to say. Let's get right into this mess, because there's a lot to get into here. Okay, so for those of y'all who don't know who Kathy was, she was Jay-Z's alleged mistress, and she died just a few days after it was reported she was about to go public with her relationship with Jay. All this came to light when the very popular journalist Liz Cronin jumped on Twitter to expose Jay of being behind Kathy's death. What made this allegation even more disturbing is that back in 2017, she had to put up a tweet accusing him of taking Kathy out, but nobody took her seriously. At the time, when Kanye West says Jay-Z has I believe he's talking about the people who Kathy White.
Hey, God, Jay-Z, I know you that. Please don't sit him at my head. Just call me.
Mind you, Liz made this tweet all the way back in 2017 when nobody had any reason to think Jay was out here taking folks' lives. However, after what Diddy did was exposed, she came back out and accused Jay once again of having a hand in Kathy's death. She quoted her first tweet and said, "Note the date. Hey Jay-Z, I was the reporter who talked to your alleged mistress right before she died / was deleted. I know everything. I know what you did. Go F yourself, your time is coming. Maybe you and Diddy can share a prison cell together. Justice is coming." She added, "It's only a matter of time before Spirit Cookin' Jay-Z is exposed like Diddy. There's a reason Kanye said Jay's got murderers. I would know. He's evil to the core. I pray there will be justice for Kathy White one day. These false idols will continue to fall. Mark my words." After Liz put all this out there, people started digging to find out just how far this entire thing goes. Not only that, but at the time of Kathy's death, it was reported that she died from a brain aneurysm. But from everything that Liz said, it looks like it was just a cover-up. Jay paid the pathologist to make it up, so it looks like the real cause of Kathy's death won't be revealed. People even found this since-deleted article that the popular blogger Hollywood Street King made back in the day, and he spilled some major tea. He pretty much made this case his mission, and even went as far as to speaking to some of the feds who were in charge of investigating Kathy's death to get information about what really happened. Hollywood Street King was actually the one who broke the story about Kathy and Jay's affair, so this was very personal to him, and he did not hold back. The article read, "Yesterday, I got the news that Kathy Michelle White had suddenly passed away, so I quickly began my investigation, and guess what? Kathy did not die from a brain aneurysm as reported widely around the internet today. According to an NYPD detective who told me, Kathy's cause of death is uncertain, and later today, we will have the autopsy and toxicology reports. Right now, the death is considered suspicious. Kathy White died exactly 1 year to the day from when I broke the story of her and Jay-Z's affair. He added, a 911 call came in from an apartment on 130 West 19th Street in Manhattan. Ambulance came and took Kathy because she was sick. They took her to the Beth Israel Hospital and that's where she expired. It was too early to be speculating that an aneurysm her. They will be doing an autopsy today to check out her cause of death. But someone might have given Kathy a bad so they'll do a toxicology and we'll have to wait 2 weeks for that report. 2 weeks prior to her death, Kathy was contacted by a major tabloid that was investigating the Jay-Z connection. She gave them little information to go on, but according to one of our sources, following her conversation with the tabloid, she called Jay and told him that she was gonna go public with their affair for a price. This all happened in the last 2 weeks. Then, little more than 48 hours after the announcement that Beyonce was pregnant with Jay-Z's baby, this young lady suddenly dies under suspicious circumstances. He also added these photos of Claudia Jordan and Kathy cutting it up with Jay in the club just months before her death. Apparently, Kathy was best friends with Claudia, and it was actually Claudia who introduced Kathy to Jay. Unfortunately, Hollywood Street King wasn't able to go any further with this investigation, but Jaguar Wright stepped into the chat a few months ago, and she lit this whole thing on fire with some new information. She first spoke about this when she went live on IG and said that Kathy did not die from a brain aneurysm, and that she was brutally unmoved from her home. She flat out accused Jay and Beyonce of being responsible for this, and said Kathy spent her last minutes screaming for her life. Jaguar also claims the reason why Jay took Kathy out is because Beyonce was jealous. And if he wasn't gonna take Kathy out, then Beyonce was gonna take matters into her own hands and do it herself.
Kathy White's life was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming, and the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think, and maybe he just had to clean it up to protect the brand's sake? I mean, I'm just speculating.
Oh, but she wasn't done. Jaguar later appeared in another interview, and this time she went into more details about what happened, including how Beyonce allegedly faked her pregnancy and stole Kathy's unborn baby out of her womb before taking her out. Apparently, Blue Ivy is actually the baby that Kathy was carrying before Jay took her out. Jaguar also slammed Claudia Jordan for staying quiet about all this, even though she knows that Jay was the one who was responsible for what happened.
Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend?
So, Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress,
yeah,
who died of an imaginary aneurysm, just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is you, and the boss's boss don't get no. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where.
Around the time that you had that floppy on a baby, I saw the interview just like everybody else. The conspiracy theories, I'm not gonna hold you. I was peeping to them. I wasn't full-blown a number to it. I didn't get a membership. I wasn't enrolled in Illuminati conspiracies. But I saw the interview and I've never been pregnant, bitch. I'm asexual and I'm child-free by choice. But I did see that Betty flop, and I've been around enough pregnant women to know that that don't happen. But I mind my business. But everything's coming out in the wash. Everything's coming out in the wash. And gag is, I remember being young, like middle school, high school, and I was going through so much shit. High ace. And I'm not even talking about asexuality as opposed to adverse childhood experiences. Dealing with poverty, dealing with struggle, dealing with abandonment, dealing with depression, dealing with so much on my shoulders as a young girl. And I remember having these like daydreams of like what it would be like to be not necessarily famous, but like not here in the time and space that I was existing in. Like, wouldn't it be nice to be a character on my favorite Disney show? Wouldn't it be nice to have the stability of my favorite Nickelodeon show? Wouldn't it be nice to have a two-parent nuclear family household? Ask Reddit threads in the household how well the nuclear family shit is going. But if it's not the weaponizing confidence, it's the 50% divorce rates. And if it's not the 50% divorce rates, it's the you my baby mama and I won. If it's not that, it's the patriarchy of it all. So like, back then, of course, I didn't know any of that. And none of that shit would have resonated because I did not have the lived experience to understand why patriarchy sucked. And on top of that, I was raised in the stupid ass Jehovah's Witness cult. So like everything male was just the default and supposedly righteous. But fast forward now, and being a whole ass adult, with my frontal lobe already motherfucking formed, just baked in the middle, bitch. Okay, straight out of the oven, fresh and good to go. I'm so motherfucking glad that was not my experience. Because looking back at the way that I was raised and the circumstances that I had to experience, and understanding how Hollywood navigates itself, even Black Hollywood, as we're seeing with the Diddys, the Chris Stokes, and the likes. Oh, bitch, I would have been prime for fucking picking bitch. Prime for motherfucking picking bitch. Because who would have saved me? Who would have protected me? Who would have protégé? Who would have done that for me? If my own family wasn't, if my own parents wasn't, who was gonna do that? My manager, who gets paid regardless if I am safe or not? Who my accountant, who is all about the bottom line because my exploitation pays their mortgage? Like, who's gonna look out for me? My agent, whose lifestyle is dependent on me breaking a leg, proverbial or literal? Like, who was gonna? We gotta make sure that her mental's together, her fitness is together, her well-being is together, that she's not gonna be sexually preyed upon. Like, who was gonna do that? Who's gonna do that? Certainly not Black Hollywood. Certainly not Usher. Certainly not Diddy. Certainly not Chris Stokes. Certainly not Oprah with her South African school that turned into sexual horrors of young Black girls. Like, certainly not the one who always hugged up with the fucking pedophile, hugged up with the fucking rapist. Not Ozempic headed ass Oprah. It makes me look back in time was like shit was rough, but shit, at least I wasn't an industry sex slave doing sex magic and being told I gotta perform this shit or else. Not only because my career depends on it, but like if I don't play ball, then the shit will just leave.
Yo fam, Puffy just told us to go to the store in Brooklyn and bring him back a cheesecake and walk.
Say what? Dad, see me on TV. Punk ass bitch, yo. It's crazy. If I walk to Brooklyn, I'm that's where the I live, y'all. I'm not walking to Brooklyn. It's crazy.
Yo, it's called making the bitch, not making the band. No, it's called making the bitch, not making the band.
Making the bitch, not making the band.
I said we go back and tell him we ain't doing it.
Got too much respect for him to do that.
It's slave labor right here, man.
It is, but hey, yo, if you the captain, bro, whatever you do, I'm with.
I mean, come on, man. Everybody got to be with me, though. I'm with you. I'm with you.
You heard me?
To the end of this shit, man. What they gonna tell me? They gonna tell me to y'all stay there, and then what? Nah, I ain't staying. I'm not staying. I'm not staying. He dropped you. He dropped me. He dropped all of us. You know? I got you.
I gotta go, Tommy.
Okay, fun fact a lot of people don't know. That cheesecake we went and got was for Beyonce. She was upstairs the whole time. What we was talking about again? Hold on. Yeah, that's a fun fact people don't know. People like, y'all walked and got a cheesecake. It was for Beyonce. I'll do it again. But, yeah, because at first he was like, I want some cheesecake. But we took all night to do the process, right? So when we got back, it was like 4 or 5 in the morning. And me and Dallon got back first. Let me tell you how green these niggas is. So I'm the type of nigga. I listen to everything you say as if it's a contract. So if you say, walk to the store, or walk to get me some cheesecake, I'll walk to get you some cheesecake. But I'm not walking back. And that's just what me and Dallon did. And they like, why y'all, you know, they hot. Like, y'all cheating. And we like, hey, he told us to walk. He didn't tell us to walk back. So we already in the hotel like 3 hours before they got there. When they said they was coming, we went and met them in front of the building. And you know the first thing that said out of his mouth? I said, we got a cheesecake. He was like, I don't want that shit. Take that shit upstairs for Beyonce. Then he said, They was like, yeah, man, we want to tell you, Fred and Dallon, they ain't walk back. You know, trying to be on some snitch and shit. He's like, I ain't tell you niggas to walk back. I ain't tell you niggas to walk back. Y'all walk back. Like, yeah. I'm like, another thing what people don't understand, if you go back and look at the episode, it's an episode where he out there in the front and he cussing everybody else out. He told us to walk for the cheesecake. And he like, man, move it. Keep it moving, money. Like, if y'all ain't with it, he like, if y'all don't like what I say, keep it moving. Fight that. Go back and look at that scene. Not trying to sound like nobody. As he said that, I heard him talking. I'm that type of nigga anyway. Everybody know me. I don't let you rap to me. So as he was talking, I walked off. I'm shot up the block. Go back and look at the scene. I'm the only one not in that bitch. I'm in it at first as the editing going on because they got me when I was talking to Ness. But when he came down, I'm no longer in them shots because I had them walked off. So I get to the end of the thing. He like, y'all can go home. Y'all can get. He said, y'all don't. He was like, y'all don't like what I was saying. Y'all can get the fuck up out of here. I'm like, all right, cool. Because you gotta remember, I came from the hood. I'm trying to get back to the trap. Like, you, this thing. I don't even know if this shit real. Like, I had never met nobody famous in my life. I'm like, I'm trying to get back to get this fucking money. This nigga, he playing with a nigga. That's just what I said. Boom. So I'm looking for an excuse to get home. My family used to beg me to stay there. They used to be like, boy, man, just stick in. I'm like, this shit. Man, I got a son on. You know, my son. I'm like, my son was just born. I ain't got time for this. I used to make $100 a day before I met P. Diddy. It wasn't much, but I had a son on the way. It was a lot back then. Like, you feel me? So I'm like, man, I ain't got time for that sucker shit. So I shot off down the block. Man, I swear to God, everything I love, man. As he walked off, he had 2 security guys, Uncle Paul and another nigga with him. And he walked off. And that nigga got to the end of the block where I was, and nigga said, gave me that. Nigga said, I respect that money. Like, and kept walking that way. Like, I respect that shit. Like, it's just the type of nigga he is. Like, you just gotta know what you're dealing with. He ain't know, like, he gonna see if you weak. Of course, he gonna see if you know, a push around. But if you're not, he might just put you, you know. I mean, a lot of niggas around me, a lot of niggas in our group, in our situations was getting push arounds. All them niggas push around. Except for the nigga who worked for Black. I never seen him in a compromising position. What's his name again? Man, Sean Perez. But I never seen Sean Perez in a compromising position. That's probably the only dude, and I wouldn't speak for no grown ass man, but that's probably the only dude that probably walked away in that situation without being SA. Is Sean Perez. Because I've never heard nothing about him, and I've never heard no stories. I used to hear freaky stories of freaky, you know, shit about main man all the time, but I just never heard nothing about Sean Perez. Now this last year and a half, I've been just getting all the juice. Because I'm in the circle. And I sit there with the love of my life, my sister, Babs, and we get on that phone. Because we the only ones that really were standing up. Everybody else is kind of scared to speak up. You feel me? Like, Chopper just don't give a. Chopper just don't give a. Dallon gonna wedge the situation. He gonna wedge the situation. He gonna. Because Dallon feel like this. I spoke with him about it. He feel like when I was fighting that fight, everybody was like on his. Now that I'm not fighting that fight and I feel a little sympathy for him, everybody want me to hate him. I'm like, boy, you always on the wrong end of the gun. You just won't get it right, huh? You always on the wrong end of the gun, Dallon. He like, right. But yeah, man, so I mean, we all have our own stories, and I'm just glad I got to experience it. But at the same time, I feel like we work for something, and we should have been able to walk. My family should be benefiting from that. That's it. I'm sorry for everybody that's going through what they're going through. Anybody in the groups, anybody who went through from 112, day 26, anybody that ever endured any sexual assault from P. Diddy or uncomfortable environments, I sympathize with you, and I just prayers up for you, man. Prayers up. I hope you can find some type of peace, balance in life, and figure it out. I still haven't got there yet, but I wish the best for you.
You want to show all your skin. You want to be naked. But the whole concept of Danity Kane was like, when it comes together, it's one.
Pop's going hard on the group, and then all of a sudden he singles me out and starts going on and on about how unhappy he is with me. And I just feel like nothing that I do, he's ever happy.
Can I ask a question? What do you want to look like, though? Do you want to look like a playboy, playmate? Do you want to look like you?
I'm done with all of that.
No. What do you want to look like, though?
I'll tell you.
What do you want to look like, though?
I'll tell you. I'm not focused on me. I'm focused on what this group should look like and how I should fit in this situation.
You like big hair, though. You do like big hair. You like big hair. You like a lot of makeup and all that.
Actually, I don't. I don't like big hair. I don't like certain makeup. I'm very flexible with what you want to do, and I've worked with everything that you've thrown
I'm not
at
saying the flexibility. You gaming me.
Your hair people came in today and they said this is how it needs to be.
You know what I'm talking about. You're pushing your own image, though.
I'm not worried about whether my hair is straight, curly, whatever. I'm not here in a group to have curly, straight, big, makeup, whatever. I'm here in a group to sing with my group, and that is all I care about. For real, like maybe you just don't get me and we
They're
don't get
gaming me
each
because
other.
if I pulled in all of the makeup artists and all of the hair people, they would not say that.
With the wardrobe, did I not try and cover up all the problem areas that I've been seeing were not
Yes, we had that conversation yesterday.
How are you gonna get crazy with me? I work well with these people.
But it's not necessarily just the stomach area.
No, I'm talking about all of it. I mean, I was cool with whatever change he wanted to make today, and I did it.
Yes, you were today, but Aubrey, you have to admit that sometimes when you want to do something, you want to do it.
Well, yeah, I see what the problems are on TV stuff when people are looking crazy, or this is looking crazy, that's looking crazy. You even told me, review the things you do and pay attention to what the problem is. So I see what I do, and I see, ooh, that was not a good look, let me fix that. I read the things that people say. You're the one that told me to do that. I do that, and I make an honest
I don't want you to look like Pamela Anderson. I don't want to sign Pamela. Well, that's in the direction. Well, you don't look like her. You don't look like that girl that I signed.
You know who Aubrey is. Look, it's 3 years later.
It's 3 years later, and you're going in the wrong direction.
Okay, well,
You're going in the wrong direction. You need to stop the truck, pull over. I'm not changing nothing.
Okay, well, you wanted to leave out.
I just want you to look good.
But you're not happy. You hate me. Then why are you having hair?
I don't have to have you here. That's one thing that we can make clear. That's one thing we can make clear. I don't have to have you here. I'm trying. I have you here. I have you here because I feel you talented. But don't get it twisted. I'm starting to think about why do I have you here. Okay, so you clear on that though. Check this out. You clear on that. You understand now. I'm asking myself why do I have you here. So I move on to something else up. Right? And I'll give you the answer soon. All right? And you may not be here then.
Before it gets
And anybody want to go with you, they could go too. Don't get it twisted, man. It gets dark and lonely. It does, trust me.
I'm becoming I use the most respectful way I can right now. We are not working together. Nothing disrespectful. I swear to you, we're fighting because we love DK, because we love Bad Boy, because we love Puff, because we want a good album. They're just so different, and we all absolutely hate. This stuff some of the stuff that y'all are really saying is this is gonna be 08 for you guys. It's a pimp and hoe situation. I feel like a hoe that's just been pimped, and that's it.
I told him, Aubrey, you had some concerns verbally about how you wanted to express yourself and how you felt, and you just kept it real and funky. And he wants you to say everything you said to him directly and make him understand and feel what it is.
So when I was gone, I heard there were some things that y'all wanted to express to me. I heard that there was some kind of protesting, some objections to some of my trains of thought. Sometimes we're gonna have it out, so we gotta have it out. Let's get busy. Aubrey, you ain't got nothing to say? You got such a big mouth when I'm going. What you gotta say? Say it now.
I think that we really want to be pop international stars. We want to take over that market. We thought that was the direction that all of us had talked about, and so we just aren't feeling like that's happening, and we're really confused and frustrated.
That's it?
This is very personal to us, and as an artist, I think you would understand that best. We just want to love what we're doing, and I know at the end of the day, we're not gonna love everything. It's a give and take, it's a compromise, this is a business, I get it.
I saw y'all, I believed in y'all. I chose to invest my time, invest my money, my energy in y'all. Y'all have to have trust in me.
But not all 5 of us have walked out of a studio yet and been like, I want to hear that song every day for the rest of my life. That is my
I got it.
We just want to love what we do, that's it.
All right, I got you.
So not only will I not get the next Hollywood role, but like, who wants to hire, even if it is a motherfucking burger flipping position, amateur sex porn star? Like, who's gonna hire?
Your mother could do that to her son. Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a Philly whore. You're a big old they're making your son out to be. That's for sure. Truth is, she wasn't nothing but a dealer's whore. That's all she ever was.
What's bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, you know, bullshit sometimes, and, you know, that's the only thing that I hate about it.
Wait, did Brashear Gray's head mother really sell him to Diddy in exchange for money? Y'all better get a chair for this one, because Jaguar Wright is back in full force, and she just spilled all the tea about how Brashear Gray was violated by Diddy and Will Smith till he was forced to run away from Hollywood. Now, this ain't the first time that Jaguar has spoken out about how Diddy diddled Brashear into becoming his little freak-off boy toy. But this time, she revealed even more incriminating evidence and exposed Brashear's mother, Andrea Mayberry, and his ex-manager manager Charlie Mack for selling him off to Diddy and allowing Brashear to be turned into a slave. Jaguar even went as far as claiming that there's a tape of Justin Bieber, Brashear, Will, and Diddy having a nasty freak-off. What's even crazier is that Brashear actually tried to file a $50 million lawsuit against Diddy and Will at the beginning of the year, but they somehow got to him before the lawsuit could be made public and threw him into silence.
If he needs prayer, I don't know what's
See,
going
they
on.
trying to slay him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Now, just a little bit of context as to how Brashear even got into Diddy's circle in the first place. He was discovered by Charlie Mack when he was about 17, and Charlie took him under his wing to be his talent manager. He pulled a few strings and got Brashear a chance to audition for the role of Hakeem Lyon in Empire. At the very last minute, and fortunately for Brashear, he ate that audition up and later got cast to play the role. After Empire came out and became a hit show, Charlie then thought it would be a good idea to introduce Brashear to Will Smith to mentor him and to level up his acting skills. But here's the thing though, Brashear didn't only want to be an actor, he also wanted to do music. So Charlie introduced him to Diddy to help his music career. But as we all know, no favors came from Diddy for free. And this time, by the time that mentorship was over, Brashear was violated, used, passed around, and completely blackballed. At the time, many people did not realize how disturbing all these industry link-ups were, because we thought Diddy and Will were actually trying to help this boy. But in reality, they just wanted to turn him out and use his body to satisfy their depraved desires. The first person who publicly spoke up about this and gave Brashear a voice was Jaguar Wright. She said this entire thing about mentorship was just a tactic that Diddy and Will used to lure these young men into their freak-offs. They lie to these boys that they're going to mentor them into becoming a star, only to end up indulging them in hour-long freak-offs, oiling them up in loads of baby oil. She even recalled the time that Brashear and Meek Mill had reportedly ran out of Will's house screaming for help after one of these freak-off sessions.
Well, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bashir Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Around the same time, Jaguar also accused Will of messing with his own son, Jaden, who was just 15 at the time. According to Jaguar, this is why Jaden moved out of Will's house even before he turned 18.
In that interview, he said a lot. He said a lot.
He said everything but the thing that was important. That he know that Will Smith, Jaden, he Bashir and he Meek Mills, and you know it, Bilal.
Well, Jaguar was not lying when she said that Diddy was messing with Brashear, because ever since Brashear left Hollywood, his life has been nothing but hell. In fact, as we speak, he's now doing gay corn and sharing his body with any and everybody for a little change. His videos are all over the internet, and it's crazy to think about because just a few years ago, he was one of the big up-and-coming actors in Hollywood. Now he's selling his body on the internet and pumping himself up with hard. Not only that, but he's got into a lot of legal trouble over the years that he didn't really have no business getting into. For example, back in 2022 when he was found guilty for aggravated assault against a woman he was hooking up with at the time. But this ain't his first run-in with the law, because back in 2020, his wife was rescued by a man at a nearby gas station after she had gone there asking for help. She told the police that Brashear had strangled her and put his hands on her continuously till she kept going in and out of consciousness. Once police showed up to his house to arrest him, he refused to come out the house. It took hours of negotiation between the SWAT team and Brashear to get him to come out that house. And then when his mugshots were released, people couldn't help but point out how different he looked. This was when people started to piece everything together and realized just how much damage the industry had caused him.
Arrest of Brashear Gray, one of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had assaulted her for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic chain of events.
Now, even though Brashear is an adult and he's very much responsible for his own actions, the torture that Diddy and Will put him through was what triggered all of this. And he hasn't been able to break out from it to this day. Now, going back to Jaguar Wright, she wasn't done spilling all the tea about what Diddy did to Brashear, because she recently sat down for a heated interview with Real Life Productions, and she revealed even more information about how the entire thing was orchestrated. It turns out that Charlie Mack wasn't oblivious to what Diddy and Will were doing. In fact, even Brashear's own mother, Andrea Mayberry, was in on it, and she handed over her son to Diddy for a check. Jaguar also said the reason why Brashear's deadbeat mom, Andrea, allowed all these traumatic things to happen to her son was because she wanted to exploit his pain to write a book that nobody even cares to read, just so she can make some change.
Brashear's mom, I'ma kick you in your and I'ma go to work North Philly style, bitch. Fuck you. And Charlie, you happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. You CI. I'm sorry.
Jaguar also revealed that Andrea recently came to her begging her to help with Brashear, and she specifically told Andrea to get Brashear away from Charlie Mack since he was the one pimping Brashear out to Diddy and Will. But Andrea did nothing but allow Diddy and Will to keep messing with her son and making him indulge in the freakoffs.
Came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Brashear, to help her get Brashear out of California into Chicago State to be ready for filming. She knew she knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is she wasn't nothing but a drug dealer's. That's all she ever was. She went from drug dealer to drug dealer, and then she snitched on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Larry Lair, my friend who raised Brashear in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy. And I hope anybody that bought it asks for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gay porn.
Jaguar also said the reason why they were encouraging Brashear's new career in gay corn is because they want people to think he's crazy when he comes out with his lawsuit against Diddy and Will. Nobody would take him seriously because they'll think he's not mentally stable. Y'all know the old Hollywood trick they use on all their victims, convincing the world that folks is crazy. And get this, y'all. Jaguar even went as far as claiming that there's a secret tape of Justin Bieber, Will, Jaden, Diddy, and Brashear having a freak-off.
They're trying to slay him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists. I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and she let Charlie tune that boy up on knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a Philly whore. You're a big old and they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry, the Brashear conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his book. Don't nobody care about these kids. Don't nobody care about these kids.
And for those of y'all wondering this lawsuit that Jaguar is talking about, a few months ago, shortly before Brashear launched his OF career, there was news going around about him allegedly preparing to file a $50 million lawsuit against Diddy. This was revealed by a blind item which said, "I suspect the soon-to-step forward male victim of sexual assault by this A-list mogul will not be the last man to do so, Sean Diddy Combs." However, just before the lawsuit was set to be made public, Brashear suddenly pulled back and suddenly started selling his cheeks on OF. I mean, something clearly happened to make him change his mind, and unfortunately, we may never know what it is until he finally gathers the courage to reveal it all.
Go back to civilian regular life, right? So looking back on it again, hindsight is 2020. Again, fully baked in the middle and understanding the long game and not just impulsivity, not understanding just the now. I would have been like allegedly what they say happened to Tierra Marie would have actually been me.
Tierra Marie has been through a lot. Tierra Marie is a Cassie that has not yet navigated. We knew Tierra Marie at one time was set to take over the industry. She accused multiple people of sabotaging her. It was very sad the way she started off so young, and it looked like the music industry kind of ate her up and spit her out. No, I don't blame Tierra Marie. I am blaming all the demons and vultures that live in the music industry. Okay, fine. So we got that. But here's where things get deep, okay? So I believe it was reported on like Tough News. I believe it was Tough News. Correct me if I'm wrong. That reported that Tierra Marie was the actual Jane Doe that was involved in the lawsuit with Diddy. If you guys don't know, Diddy's lawyer did this weird thing where they asked for two things. One, they said, we absolutely need her identity to be revealed. When they said that, people said, you think someone's slow. You only want to reveal this so you can shame and mock and humiliate her. Now, how could they be so certain she would be shamed, mocked, and humiliated? Well, just take a look at what's going on with Tierra Marie right now. 50 Cent is still mocking and humiliating her about that $50,000 that he got granted in a judgment. As a matter of fact, Tierra, that judgment should have never went through. Tierra must have had Tasha K's lawyer, Olga, working hard because she never should have been held accountable for that. Okay, right? Because at the end of the day, she didn't lie on 50 cents. But forget all that, because let's get into the real, okay? So, and every time Tierra Marie, like, shows her face, the men in the record industry, she dated Ray J, who did her wrong. I don't know what happened with Rockefeller Records. That didn't end well. Even Carrie Hilson was sitting there, like, throwing shade and clowning her and whatnot. At least back in the day. 50 Cent is always trying to mock and humiliate her. Every time Tierra Marie's name is mentioned, the men in the record industry think that they can just say what they want or go after her because she did not reach any type of success because her career was sabotaged. And also she doesn't come from a big family name or with family money. So those vultures are like, we don't have to protect you. Okay, right? So are you guys with me? So I still was like, it's odd though, because the time frame kind of checks out, but not really. Because that woman now, hold on, let me check and see how old Tierra Marie is. 1 second. Okay, so when all this happened, that girl's name, this is the woman that is said that she hadn't reached like 18 candles yet. If you know what I'm saying, she was not the age of consent. Harvey Pierre, the woman claims that Harvey Pierre got her in Detroit. Tierra Marie is from Detroit. Claims that she was flown over to see Diddy. And at that time, all these horrible things happened. There was an unnamed producer in the room as well. People are speculating that Harvey Pierre met Tierra Marie in Detroit, flew her over to New York to get in front of Diddy. And also, Jay-Z might have been the unnamed producer. Now, listen, this is not verified. I don't believe that Jay-Z was actually in the room. He just doesn't seem like he would be that stupid and or that sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want about him. Like there's no stories about him at all doing ditties on people. However, when it looks at the age of the girl as opposed to when it happens, Tierra Marie is 36 years old. Okay. However, I didn't want to drag her name into this, but you know who just did drag her name into this? Hazel E. Hazel E has done an interview with Tasha K. If you haven't gone to see the interview, I believe it's on Tasha K's website, right? At the end of the day, Hazel E is saying that she, right, was invited into a situation, a freak-off with Tierra Marie, Cassie, and Diddy. And they were trying to pull her into the freak-off. That's right. Hazel E is confirming that Tierra Marie was in a freak-off with Cassie and Diddy, and she saw with her own eyes. Now, y'all, when I heard that, I had to come run and make the video. Again, nothing is alleged. Let me just say this right here. Everything I'm saying has not been independently confirmed or denied by the parties or in a court of law. This is my reporting is based upon information and belief, based upon legal filings, blog articles, news articles, and of course, what the streets are saying, okay? Diddy has maintained his innocence. He has not denied that the freak-offs happened. However, he is staunchly saying that everything that happened was 100% legal and consensual, and he is vehemently fighting all of this in court. Now, by fighting all this in court, he did this weird thing where they said, listen, we need the woman at this Jane Doe, we need her to be made public. I thought that was really interesting, but also it's like, yeah, you just want the public to publicly humiliate her, because as much as people ask Cassie, why you settle, we were literally probably 3 business days away from the public pulling up everything Cassie's ever done and turning on her, okay? Which makes you think, why did Diddy settle with her so quick? Because if it was just a matter of, his money, he would have just let the court of public opinion rip her apart and then settle with her later. Cassie must have had something on him. That's my opinion. He said just because he settled for 50, 80, 100 million, whatever it was, that don't mean nothing. He's still innocent. But they also did a second thing. They then went on to say, but you know what? We should also seal the filing in case her identity cannot be made public. They made a second motion. We should seal all court proceedings because she is a public facing individual. And if she were to find out, if anybody was to find out what happened to her, it would ruin her public facing image. And that's when I said, maybe it's Tierra Marie, but I don't know. However, now that Hazel E is confirming that she saw 100% Tierra Marie, Cassie, and Diddy. Now, it seems to me, multiple sources in the shadows have also been applying that Ray J is a I don't know what you heard about me, but he's a PIMP, right? And that when Ray J was managing all those artists back in the day, he really preyed on young, impressionable women, and that he was a PIM, and that he literally basically passed and or sold Tierra Marie around. Now, when it comes to Diddy, again, like that accuser that accuses Diddy of gang raping her and also other horrible things, the age is kind of checking out. But you also have to admit that Tierra Marie is Diddy's type. She is Diddy's type. Diddy got two types: a Jennifer Lopez type or a Kim Porter-ish type. Those seem to, or also a Gina Hahn type, right? Tierra Marie definitely falls into one of the women that he wants around him. Her body, her shape, her face, even the way that she is talented. There are also numerous blind items that have been out about how Tierra Marie, actually, let me just read you the blind item. Hold on. All right, here's the blind item that everybody also pointed out to say that Diddy got Tierra Marie, and he did the same thing he did with Cassie. He promised her the world. He promised to put her on as long as she keep participating with the Freakoffs. However, the whole point was for her to just participate in the Freakoff, and he had no intention at all of making Tierra Marie's career pop. The blind item is, in the wake of the death of Aaliyah, certain record producers were looking for someone else who could step into her shoes in more way than one. As I told you before, Aaliyah was essayed as a minor by several producers and was treated like a piece of meat to be bought and sold by different moguls up to the time she passed away as it was. A couple of years after she passed, a fairly large record producer started making some calls about a singer he had working out of his studio. Again, if you look at that lawsuit that Douglas Wigmore is bringing up, if you look at that lawsuit, okay, did not Harvey Pierre go to Detroit, Tierra Marie's hometown, and bring her over by private flight to meet Diddy in a studio with an unnamed producer? And did that night something occurred that anybody could describe as an FO? Okay. A couple years later, after she passed, we're talking about Aaliyah, a fairly large record producer started making some calls about a singer he had working out of his studio. She was 15 and eager, and soon different label heads were scouting her. When they heard her voice and saw how she looked, they started scouting her even harder. She was sleeping with one of the producers, the one who made the initial calls. Soon, again, some people are saying this is Jay-Z, I don't know. Soon, she was sold to this pseudo blank corn star celebrity sibling. That's obviously Ray J. She started working for him. However, he at that time was a PIMP, and he had a habit of preying on young, vulnerable women. He got her to the attention of an A-list rapper mogul, and he signed her to a deal. Before the ink was dry, she was just short of being legal. That didn't stop the mogul. He liked to sample the new top talent. He was sampling her on a fairly regular basis, but he was also involved in a current A-list singer. Okay, and I don't believe this. I think they drew Beyonce into the mix just because. But let me get to the point of the blind item and do all this. They said at one point, okay, she was forced into a lot of things she did not want to do. Now, you take this blind item, you take like the rapper / mogul. A lot of people are pointing to Jay-Z, but if you add Diddy's name into it and you substitute Beyonce, because Beyonce ain't into any dumb stuff like that, with Jennifer Lopez, it makes sense. Now, I'm not saying Jennifer Lopez was involved in this either. I am saying that they said there was a rapper / mogul who was also married to an A-list singer. At that time, Jennifer Lopez and Diddy were way bigger than Jay-Z and Beyonce. Jay-Z and Beyonce were big, but let's not forget that Beyonce's star kept growing into legend, and Jennifer Lopez started going into a bunch of other stuff. In any case, where does that leave us? It leaves us with the fact that, is Tierra Marie okay? Again, everybody has so much sympathy for Cassie, Tiffany Braid, and they should. But what about Tierra Marie? Because at the end of the day, the same things people clown her for are the same things that her whole history is being with predators. Now that Hazel E has confirmed that not only was she present at one of Diddy's Freakoffs, but she was one of Diddy's preferred people. And we all know from Cassie that Diddy preferred keeping people blocked up and doped up, right? On the Coca-Cola. He liked the amphetamines. He liked literally having party favors all the time. Cassie detailed the horror she went through because it wasn't enough that you participated. He liked people out of their minds when it happened. And he would push copious amounts forcing them to go past their limit. Remember how Tierra Marie was a beautiful, young, bright star, still has a lot of talent. She's coming back, but y'all, everything actually checks out. Now, we don't know if this is Tierra Marie, but now that Hazel E has confirmed it, y'all, let me just say this. If Tierra Marie is suing Diddy and Diddy forces her name to come out, I hope Tierra Marie takes whatever pennies Diddy has and uses them all to buy her own little piece of freedom, because what they did to her in the music industry was so dirty. I can't even describe it. Anyway.
And what they allegedly said was Rihanna's error.
It looks like the streets are finally starting to figure out which celebrities were at Diddy's parties. And it looks like Rihanna might have been one of those celebrities. Fans are putting two and two together and saying that Rihanna's mentor, Jay-Z, might have allegedly passed her on to his bestie, Diddy, for Freakoffs. There have been a lot of talk about how Jay-Z and Rihanna allegedly had an inappropriate relationship back in the day, but the streets are saying that whatever happened between them went deeper than anyone could have thought. Oh, and remember the old publicist that spread rumors about her and Jay-Z? Well, he just spilled some crazy tea about how the feds investigated Jay-Z for allegedly out women to Diddy. So was Rihanna a victim, or was she at the freak-offs of her own free will? Let's break this down. Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but there have been some reports over the years that Jay-Z allegedly tracked Rihanna from Barbados. If y'all think about it, there are so many red flags surrounding how she came to be signed to Def Jam. For one, she had to leave her country, Barbados, for the US to perform for Jay-Z and L.A. Reid. But the shady part about this is that she was only 16 at the time, and she came to the US alone. Def Jam was a big label at the time, and they could certainly afford another plane ticket for a trusted adult to accompany her, but they didn't do that. When Rihanna arrived in the US, Jay-Z kept her in his office until 3 a.m., forcing her to sign a contract and threatening to throw her out of the window of his 16th floor office.
So nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming. And you had to sing a cappella for him? Yes, I had to sing. I sang Fun Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time. So then what did he say to you? He said something to you. Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief. But then he said something about a window and a door or something. Oh, then he said, he did it more. I did a lot of work on you this lady. He said, there are 2 minutes to leave here. Either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor. So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing. Yeah.
Intimidating a 16-year-old in the middle of the night? Yeah, that's a bad look, no matter how you try to frame it. And forcing her to sign a contract with threats? That's a whole nother level of shady. To make things worse, there's still some question about whether Jay-Z even had the legal authority to make her sign in the first place. Remember, Rihanna was just 16, and at that age, you usually need a parent present or guardian to sign any legal documents. Plus, she didn't even have a lawyer, so she might have unknowingly signed away her rights. And if these new claims are legit, she pretty much did. Jaguar Wright was one of the first to speak up, alleging that Jay-Z tracked Rihanna from Barbados using his label as a front. She also accused Jay-Z of allegedly paying Rihanna's father $500,000 when she touched down in the US.
Who only seemed to work on teeny bopper projects, who discovered Rihanna at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room on the island where she comes from, with no parental supervision. And then she was put on a private plane, a minor, from one country to another, without parental supervision. And she ended up in a boardroom with Mr. Carter, without parental supervision. Y'all got young children. Would you just let your daughter leave and go to a whole other country with some mother you don't know?
Absolutely not.
Doing talent shows at 3 a.m.
So you're saying that the rumors are true. There are rumors circulating that Rihanna was actually trafficked here. Are you saying that
Starting
that's...
to sound that way, don't it? Because her daddy ain't show up till 24 hours later to pick up a $500,000 check for his daughter's ass. Maybe we should look more into that album, Auntie. That album cover was disturbing. A child bride with a crown over her head and blood smeared on her face. I don't know. How don't people see SOSs? anymore.
This situation is absolutely wild, but that $500,000 payout to Rihanna's father starts to make sense when you consider what Rihanna has shared about him. She's been open about how her dad was violent towards her and her mom, hurting them multiple times. According to Jaguar, he allegedly sold Rihanna to Jay-Z, and that's wild to even think about. And speaking of Jaguar Wright, she didn't stop there. She also alleged that Jay-Z would make Rihanna perform certain favors for industry men at events. According to Jaguar, this might have even been one of the reasons behind Chris Brown's outburst against Rihanna back in 2009.
And Rihanna ain't innocent. Because she was in there giving that a blowjob in the coat closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, "You always sucking something." Then he said, "I'm done with you," and he stormed out of Clive Davis's house, got into his very expensive car, and Rihanna chased after him. She gets in the car and started fighting on him because he embarrassed her for calling her a sucking and saying in front of everybody that she gave him the herpes at Clive Davis's house.
This is wild, but there were also rumors at the time of Jay-Z and Rihanna having an affair, even though he was with Beyonce at the time. The rumors quickly turned into a scandal when Rihanna's publicist stepped forward and took responsibility for them. He said, "The PR stunt that I did was out of desperation to help break Pond to replay. It was reckless and I didn't think it was going to work. I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. I didn't think it would be this big story, but now knowing that people are profiting from speculations and opinions about her really turns my stomach. I'm ashamed that I'm even talking about this. I just want to put this rumor to rest once and for all." However, the publicist came out a couple of weeks ago to deny that he had started the rumors, and he hinted that he had been coerced into taking responsibility to avoid the scandal. And if that's not shocking enough, he also revealed that the feds interrogated him a couple of years ago about Jay-Z allegedly using his record label to traffic young women. The publicist wrote, he said, "It's time for me to finally set the record straight once and for all, as it's way beyond shocking, messy, and just flat out crazy AF. Prepare to be blown away as what I have been through over the years involving this historical scandal that needs to be put to bed for good. Yes, heads are going to roll and people will be floored, but the truth needs to be revealed." He continued, "One day, unmarked law enforcement cars stopped me. These intimidated individuals introduced themselves as a federal task force and they requested to speak with me, so I followed them to talk, and I was in a complete state of panic. As I sat in the desolate makeshift interrogation room, the gravity of the situation became clear to me. They mentioned that they have been keeping a close watch on Jay-Z since he stabbed Lance Rivera, and he was also being implicated in a violent incident with R. Kelly during their joint tour, promoting Jay-Z and R. Kelly's joint album. The officers clarified that they were investigating Jay-Z for allegedly engaging in intimate activity with young Rihanna and transporting her across international borders. They said she wasn't the only one, and there were many others." He added, "No one benefits from reckless ambition. The interrogation was a brutal reality check. However, looking back now, there are some serious red flags, as Jay-Z was once very close to R. Kelly, and they have 2 collaborative albums. They have like 30 songs together, and they have toured together. As we all know, Jay-Z has also been extremely close to Diddy for several decades, so it's not very hard to come to some of the conclusions that Trap Lord Ross and Jaguar Wright have come to with Jay-Z. The streets have been saying that he is up next after Diddy. And when you factor in these new reports of him allegedly out Rihanna to Diddy for Freakoffs, well, let's just say that things are getting seriously heated for him. Isn't it funny how Jay-Z started to back away from Diddy right after Cassie's lawsuit dropped? Like the minute that bombshell hit, Jay went from being Diddy's ride or die to pretending like the man didn't even exist. And honestly, he tried to be real slick with it. There's even some talk that Jay canceled his iconic Rock Nation brunch this year because of Diddy. Now, if you know Jay-Z, you know he does not mess around when it comes to his brunch. It's that exclusive event where the biggest names pull up, and just getting an invite is a serious flex. Since 2010, he's been hosting it like clockwork, only skipping 2020 because, well, we were in a pandemic and there was the whole social distancing thing going on. Diddy's been a regular guest every year and their friendship has always been tight. But this year, with everything going down, Diddy wasn't exactly brunch material. Then out of nowhere, it was announced that the Rock Nation brunch was canceled this year. Everyone was side-eyeing that because, I mean, the only other time it got canceled was during a literal global pandemic. Of course, folks started speculating was something up with Jay or Beyonce, but then they announced they'd be attending a different pre-Grammys event instead, supporting their friend, the Sony Music Publishing CEO, who is getting the Grammy Salute to Industry Icons Award. However, fans believe that this was just an excuse, and the real reason was that they were trying to avoid drama because of the Diddy situation. Well, it looks like they can't avoid the drama because now that the streets are saying that Rihanna could have been forced into the Freakoffs, the drama is about to blow up. I mean, Rihanna even kind of hinted that she knows a little something something about the Freakoffs.
Rihanna, did you attend any of P. Diddy's parties? Were you involved in any of the Freakoffs? That's crazy.
That would have been me. So the death of Black Hollywood Remember when they were telling the young niggas that they're too goofy, that they're too impulsive, that they keep putting everything on wax, and that's how the feds are coming to come get them?
Lyrics. So you even got to be mindful of the shit you say, even if you're expressing, you know, you can't even, it's to the point where it's though sometimes we can't even use our imagination, because some of our greatest artists in the history of life, they was poets, they wasn't real street niggas. They put that shit together. So you even got to be mindful of that. You got to be mindful of what you're posting. You can't show everything.
Quit telling on yourself, nigga. That's what he telling you.
You dig what I'm saying? Because, you know, it go from you posting something to now, you know, prosecutor talking about on December 27th, 2021, rapper so-and-so was posing with marijuana and an AK-47 on Instagram. They can subpoena Instagram. Everything you post on Instagram, no matter you delete it, archive, they will subpoena Instagram and they would give them your whole, everything you ever posted, everything you ever deleted.
And Diddy was all through his fake-ass rap career, dancing all in the videos like a hoe, like the main video hoe, the main star of the video. Diddy.
Any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star and don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
Remember, there was like all these niggas are getting caught up in Ricos. These niggas like TK to the race, like Slime with Young Thug and all the other young niggas. They keep getting hit because they keep putting their shit on wax. They need to be more discreet. You know, the feds are watching, the feds are listening.
I'm be fresh as hell if the feds watch. Yeah. I'm be fresh as hell if the feds watch.
That's how, what's his name, Bobby Shmurda got hung up and caught up in this, that, and the third. And come to find out, these niggas who was bragging about big pimping, P-I-M-P, they wasn't lying. They really was pimping internationally. They really was doing sex parties on the yacht. Like, they wasn't lying, they wasn't capping, they really was moving weight. They really are drug dealers. They really are demon time. Like, they was not capping. They was saying exactly who the fuck they is with a funky fucking beat. And while we were like, we just like it for the beat. We don't care about the lyrics. We just like it for the beat. This is swagger. They was literally playing in our working class face, talking about they could literally have our daughters being slut out. Because that's what they were doing. While they're calling us broke, while they're calling us busters and losers and lames, they're also pushing the same drugs that they said, I had to do the drugs. I had to be a drug dealer. There's no way else to hurt society. A pervasive predator. And now even when they make it to the league, even when they make it to the tippy top, they don't stop their predation.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs filed in February by producer Rodney Little Rod Jones. Jones accusing Combs of threatening him, sexually harassing him, and drugging him. Court documents say Jones witnessed Combs' chief of staff, Christina Coram, named as a defendant in the suit, requiring other employees to keep a supply of Mr. Combs' drug of choice immediately ready when he asks for it, in reference to several substances, including 2C, another name for pink cocaine. Combs' attorney calling the entire lawsuit in a statement.
In the words of Rick Ross,
put Molly all in her champagne. She ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it.
He also has another song where he bragged about sexually assaulting women like Diddy did Total.
Song Magnificent. Well, in it, Rick raps about seeing Diddy do some not so magnificent things with female artists. And then there's You and I, where he's talking about slipping things in women's champagne.
Come on now. What's tea? What's tea? So they've been brazen about who they are and what they do, while we thought it's just black excellence. It's just playing the game. It's just their lived experience. It's just the hood. It's just ghetto stories. But this is who they really are. This is who the fuck they really are. And this is what black excellence is. Taking it back. You cannot exist as a black bourgeois without you doing class warfare against black people, because that's the point of the black bourgeois. You are a buffer class. You exist to be aspirational and to perform meritocracy. But you also, for real, your real job, the veneer is aspirational. But what you're really here for is to perpetuate the system of exploitation. Them crackers wasn't going to give you $1 million to talk about, hey, black people, let's come together. Let's be liberated. Let's get our, like, that. They wasn't going to put money behind that. But they was going to put money behind you being a demon time, you being a killer, a serial killer at that, a sexual deviant. Like, yeah, they were going to put money behind that. And because these crackers don't want to give nobody not what they worth with the class warfare, with the wage theft, with the gender pay wage gap, and so on and so forth. These crackers hate giving motherfuckers their true worth, their true value. So that's how they end up with the 360 deals. This is how these artists, black bourgeois, want to talk about how much Fendi they got, Gucci they got, luxury they got, but you don't even own your own shit. You don't own your masters, nigga. You ain't got publishing, nigga. So they work you like a slave up on the motherfucking tours, all up on the motherfucking merchandise, all up on the motherfucking stage. They soothe and massage your ego with these motherfucking plastic ass rewards and shit that you hoes be crying about. But at the end of the day, the shit that came out your dome, the shit that you wrote with your pen, your bitch ass don't own that shit. Gag! You don't own your own fucking words, ho. You don't own your own fucking image, ho. Wouldn't say you're the modern day slave because y'all hoes never picked cotton. You never lived in that time, place. What is that like?
Time, space. What is that like?
But more or less, you have the same autonomy, agency, and right to your own body, to your own humanity, to your own image. More or less on the same range of control as a slave. Enslaved didn't own shit. An enslaved person didn't own not even their name, not even the clothes on their back, not even the family that they belonged to. They were like a floating signifier. They were like an enigma. But their humanity wasn't afforded to them, even as humans. And that's y'all. Y'all are a brand, y'all are a product, but y'all not human. You gotta go through this and the third person so you can use your own name. Reference the artist formerly known as Prince. That's your motherfucking name, ho, and you can't even fucking use that shit because it belongs to somebody else. Bitch! But, you know, I'm just a brokey.
Yeah,
I'm just working class, ho. What do I know? Because I've never been to the Paris Fashion Week. They never invited me to the Grammys. They never invited me to the Carter brunch. So what the fuck do I know? At least my name belongs to me. At least my humanity belongs to me. At least I ain't gotta ask somebody, can I use my own image? But y'all do. While you sit there and you berate everyday working class people.
The ghetto!
You look down on everyday working class people.
When a rich nigga want you, baby. And your nigga can't do nothing for you. Nothing, no. These hoes ain't loyal, no they ain't. Whoa, these hoes ain't loyal.
You threaten and berate and stick your nose up at everyday working class people.
Beautiful black woman, I bet that bitch look better red.
And y'all literally gotta bust it wide open before they would ever even entertain listening to you. You gotta be flued out and fucked down to ever actually get a budget, actually get some good production, actually have a rollout. So it's not just talent, you still gotta do more things and extraneous things. It's not that they were just having these wild orgies. It was the drugs. It was the drug addiction. It was the violation. It was the recording of people without their consent.
Okay. Yeah, why I picked this one? Oh, Lord. What is it? I can't say it. You got to. It says take a shower if you like golden showers. I do. Golden showers? Meaning when the guy pees on you? Mm-hmm. Pee on you everywhere? You like it? I just like it. You do? Sweet. Freak of the week. So you say take a shot. You say take a shot? Yeah, I take a shot. You like golden shower? I do. But like peeing on you? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just too I'm going to be honest. Hold on, one more thing. I need something a little less. Right? So I'm going to be honest with you. I've never had a golden shower. I did. Did you? I've never had a golden shower. Like, I've given one. Oh, is that the same thing as squirting? Or yeah, they say that. I don't know. But I don't had a golden shower.
R. Kelly did urinate on this woman. But America urinated on R. Kelly.
Oh.
And if you let them put this man in jail, America will urinate on each and every one of you. Salaam alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother.
Please, people, you saw the tape. The girl testified she was underage. You're not allowed to do that to a little girl. We have a videotape.
Go tell that to your white bitch.
Mm-hmm. But the girl was... prosecution rests. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, all that needs to be said is this.
Hey! What the hell is wrong with you people? Every famous nigga that gets arrested is not Nelson Mandela? Yes, the government conspires to put a lot of innocent black men in jail on fallacious charges. But R. Kelly is not one of those men. We all know the nigga can sing. But what happened to standards? What happened to bare minimums? You a fan of R. Kelly? You want to help R. Kelly? Then get some counseling for R. Kelly. Introduce him to some older women. Hide his camcorder. But don't pretend like the man is a hero. And stop the damn dancing. Act like you got some goddamn sense, people. Damn. Don't playing around here.
I'm really a whore. Like, I'm with a W. Like, I'm a whore.
What if Summer comes to you, as pretty as she is, and says, Mom, I want to be a city girl?
She ain't gonna be no city girl.
Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl?
I want her raised totally different. Like I really want her to just be like, like level-headed, a school girl. I kind of was raised different, so I don't want to raise her up how I was raised. So, I'm a city girl. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want
Sean Diddy Combs is facing yet another lawsuit. As the rapper remains in jail following his September 16th arrest on charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution, an unidentified woman has filed a new lawsuit claiming the mogul drugged and sexually assaulted her, according to documents obtained by E! News. The suit, filed September 27th, alleges that Diddy repeatedly assaulted the woman, identified as Jane Doe, over a 4-year period, and says that one occasion led to her becoming pregnant. Attorneys for the unidentified woman say she first became acquainted with the rapper in the fall of 2020 while, quote, overseas, and was later invited on an all-expenses-paid trip. Following their 2020 meeting, the documents allege Jane Doe began seeing the rapper, quote, approximately once per month in 2021 and 2022, with the record executive arranging for her to come to his homes in Miami, Los Angeles, and New York. The woman alleges that she didn't attend these meetings of her own volition, but says Diddy and his staff used, quote, coercive and harassing language to get her to see him. Those meetings led to several instances of abuse detailed in the filing, including allegations of forced drug use and rape. The documents then state that shortly after a July 2022 meeting with Diddy, Jane Doe learned she was pregnant, with her going on to claim that the rapper's team then harassed her to get an abortion before she ended up suffering a miscarriage. Jane Doe says she's endured trauma, financial injury, and physical injury at the hands of Diddy and is seeking an unspecified amount of damages in her lawsuit. With her attorneys telling E! News in a statement, powerful figures in the entertainment industry have long exploited aspiring artists and fans. Recent high-profile lawsuits aim to hold these celebrities accountable, potentially transforming industry practices and providing justice for victims. No one is above the law. Fame and wealth do not protect Sean Diddy Combs from serious allegations of sex trafficking and abuse.
E! News has reached out to Diddy's lawyers for comment, but hasn't yet heard back. This lawsuit is just the latest in a string of legal issues the 54-year-old is facing. He was previously denied bail following his latest arrest and currently remains in custody awaiting trial for which a date has not yet been set. Diddy continues to deny all allegations made against him and is set to appear in court October 9th for a status hearing.
Remember Bill Cosby, Pill Cosby?
Spanish fly was the thing that all boys from age 11 on up to death, we will still be searching for Spanish fly. And what was the old story was, if you took a little drop, no, it was on the head of a pin.
That's right.
And you
Drop
put
it in
a
a
drink.
Coca-Cola. Don't matter.
It doesn't make it, and the girl would drink it, and
she's yours.
Hello, America.
Putting things in women's drinks and sexually assaulting them, whereas Diddy was not only doing that, but these women had no idea what was going on because they were out of their minds. They had no consciousness of it, and he was recording it.
Mom's gorgeous. Let me introduce you to my mom, called Mom Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Mom?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
What?
Mom, freshly dipped though. I was trying to show you shoes. Yeah, my mom's is single. Mom's is single. I ain't gonna hate on my mom's. She's single. Me and my mom talked about one time doing a dating show with her. And she's so picky. She's so picky, they don't stand. But yeah, that'd be the funniest show in the world.
It will be. Especially with me.
I don't even want to get started if she was doing that. We're not doing that, cause yeah, my mom's single. Yeah, for real. Mom do know how to have a good time. She ain't sitting in the house playing. They outside moving and shaking, baby. She come with me to the strip club. I don't care. For real. It's my dog. You know, I want to live life. Be out here moving and grooving. So my mom told me, she just said, keep moving, baby.
That's right.
Keep moving.
Don't stop.
She could touch the floor with her palms.
What?
You know?
Flat.
Oh. Take pew, pew, pew.
It's God's side and the other side.
Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York. Today, I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. This office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that.
You don't think he was playing that with his studio friends, Stevie J and the like? You don't think they was watching that shit? You don't think between Diddy and his motherfucking group chat, they wasn't sharing pictures? They wasn't he and the ha and the sliding, and you don't think they was doing that?
Curtis, what's good, man? You and your feelings about Daphne? Is she with gang them? Or is it that you sucking little rod? However it go, I want you to fade. All that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on TV or something. Don't duck that. I'm calling you out. What you want to do, Curtis? Curtis! What's up, everybody? Another great workout today. Staying in shape, staying inspired. Inspiring myself. You know what I'm saying? First thing you gotta do is inspire yourself. Without inspiration from within, you know what I'm saying? That self-love, self-respect and all that, ain't nothing else gonna come into play. Work hard. Prepare. You know what I'm saying? Never let nobody outwork you. You understand? It's like that. Love and blessings, y'all. Woo! Yeah, ladies, it's 2018. It's the summertime. And I'm summer fine. So I want you to tag your favorite clubs or promoters at the IG or whatever. When I come to your city, I'm gonna have 10 beautiful women hanging with me in the VIP. You know what I'm saying? Making sure y'all drinking the finest champagne and enjoying the finest things.
Meanwhile, their victims of had no idea. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but they didn't have the proof of it. Imagine you being violated and you have no consciousness of it, but everybody around you is snickering about it. Ooh. And you're not understanding. You're not understanding why people playing in your face. You're not understanding why people are making slick remarks. You're not understanding why people ain't picking up your phone calls. You're not understanding why people are treating you like the punchline. And come to find out, it's because Diddy freaked you out. And you ain't even know it. In the words of Rick Ross, you ain't even know it. And we have reached the conclusion to part 2. I don't want to make this video too long because I know the attention span in today's population. So definitely come back for part 3 or part 4 because we're going to take a deeper dive, and then in part 4 we're going to slide into Cardi and her situation, and not so much about Cardi and Offset, but a reflection of how patriarchy takes a toll on women, how women will forsake themselves, how women will humiliate themselves or subjugate themselves, or even choose a shitty relationship than their singledom, because there's something in the minds of women that is attached to patriarchy where it's like you are responsible for the actions of men. So if you leave a shitty relationship, it's a reflection of your womanhood or your lack of holding him down, stabilizing him, being the apple of his eye. It wasn't good enough, it wasn't wet enough, it wasn't wop enough, and all this extra dumb nonsense shit that ties women into shitty ass relationships, toxic ass relationships with men that they no longer need to be with, but they will stay around like a Rashida and Kirk because it's honorable to allow a man to devour you, as grand patriarchy would tell. But you would have to come back for part 3 and part 4 to know my deeper thoughts on that. But for the meantime, in between time, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you care, if it was insightful to you, for you, and so on and so forth. And you can find me on all the socials, BlackWomanVibes, if you care to follow me on the socials. And yeah, check out the subscription box if anything intrigues you. If you'd like to support my content creation, get over to Cash at me, BlackWomanVibes, all one word, woman as in singular, A, not the E. And I shall see you on the next video. Peace.